Welcome to the Shimano Library. Today we are playing the third round of the North Star Cup Color Clash tournament, and things haven't really gone our way so far. We are heading to the third game with a 0-2 score, but that won't stop us from trying to do our thing. And what is that thing? We are flying over our opponents. Here is the deck I've been playing in this tournament. It is a Blue Fliers deck, somewhat of a weenie build. There are a couple of bigger threats down the line, but the spotlight creatures are those Flying Men and Zephyr Falcons. These Randive Freeds have underperformed so far. The deck doesn't run any counter magic, but just tries to overrun the opponent with little creatures and buffs, and then tempo them out by bouncing their permanents. The idea felt solid, but so far we have had issues with our creatures just being outclassed. We haven't really had a chance yet to curve out and copy all the good stuff. The deck has felt a little weak and lacking in that punching power. In round 1, we got hit by a white weenie deck that was just more efficient at doing the same thing. And in round 2, we got hit by a black deck, which was able to control the board while pressuring us. It has become somewhat obvious that the deck may have some serious issues here, but we soldier onwards and try to get some wins under our belt here. But before we head down to the table, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other thrilling gameplay here in the Shimano Library. Alright, heading down to game number 1. We both get a hand of 7 and my opponent gets to go first. And a Mountain and a Goblin Balloon Brigade. Well, this is kind of a bad feeling because I kept a slower hand, not exactly knowing what my opponent's playing, so my earliest game action is gonna be probably a ghost ship. And looking at the board of small red creatures, is there gonna be a second one? That's not something I wanted to see, but let's see if we can turn the ship around. Yep, there's the Iron Claw Orcs and the Balloon Brigade just swing for 1. Okay, the Mishra's Factory can help me with the Iron Claw Orcs. That's not going to be too much of an issue, but top decking that Chaos Orb, that might buy me some time. Because there is a problem, because I'm trying to get to 4 mana at this point, so I do not really want to sacrifice that factory in case they might have a lightning bolt in hand. So I think the safe route is going to be trying to hit that orc with the Chaos Orb, but that strip mine is going to be a problem. That's going to slow me down 1 turn and might cause some problems later on, especially if it's going to take out the factory that's going to be blocking. Yeah, took it out right away. Okay, so that's a 3 points of damage per turn. I may be able to destroy 1 with the orb. And they got an orb of their own. No, this is a problem. They might just destroy my lands and try to tempo me out. And that was supposed to be my plan. Oh well. Let's see if I can get that ghost ship in. That's going to be an absolutely easy target for them to pick, because I cannot regenerate that so early on. And a 4 toughness creature is a problem for red decks, so there's a high chance of them wanting to drop that. But now the question is, should I hit their orb or should I hit their creature? Because yeah, I'm going to be activating the orb. That's game plan number 1. This way there's not going to be a shatter in hand. Let's see how this goes. Oh no, there was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom. Yeah, that was a miss. Yeah, the orb landed on its side. It bounced right off. Here's hoping they're gonna do the same. A 3rd mountain, and I really got nothing going on, so it's like I got maybe 4 turns left, depending on how many lightning bolts are there. Oh, Bloodlust. That's 4 points extra. And I got an unsummon at that point would have been devastatingly good, but yeah, unfortunately, don't have him. But I do have an ancestral recall, so that's a safe bet for this point. I need to find something here, something real quick. And how good was my draw? A land and a mox. Yeah, that might just save me. Now, yeah, I have the ghost ship in hand, but if I play, they're probably gonna use the orb on it. But is that something I just have to get over with and done? No, I'm gonna be playing a little more carefully. The Sapphire Falcon, that's gonna be able to block the Balloon Brigade and trade, or just jump against the Ironclaw Orcs and a second Sapphire Falcon. Now, I may be able to stabilize at this point, but knowing that my opponent's playing red, there's always the chance that there's gonna be a lightning bolt or a chain lightning in hand. And I'm at 9. 9 points it's not that much. And opponent is counting something for mana. Ooh, fireball dropping down both of the falcons. Yeah, this is slipping out of my reach quickly. Little creatures hitting in. I'm down to 6 life. This might be over in a heartbeat. 5th land. Now, what would I give for an air elemental at this point? And 5 mana is a problem because I can't really double spell at this point. I just need to think what's gonna be the one creature I'm gonna play. And yeah, finally it's gonna be the ghost ship. Pretty much my only hope at this point is that if that orb flip might just fail, I may have a chance. Because no matter what, I do have to block something. And even if it is like blocking an Ironclaw Orcs and getting bloodlusted and losing my ship, I just have to do it. But yeah, here's the orb activation. Is it gonna be good? Yeah, that's a glean. Boom. The ghost ship is down. I'm down to 3 life. Is there a bolt in hand? Yeah, chain lightning in hand. Game 1 goes to the red deck. Game number 2. I get to be on the play, and this time I kept a faster hand. I get to start with flying men, and there is much more cheaper threats in my hand, and no 1-drop for my opponent. This is a good start for me. Alright, let's start the little hits 1 point at a time. And there's a second flying men. I believe there is a 3 mana threat somewhere in hand, and a psionic blast I believe is one of those. But at this point I think I just need to start pushing out those little creatures, getting that damage in as much as possible as early on, because yeah, I'm willing to raise that orc any day of the week. And unfortunately this was the top deck this turn. I would have so wanted to see that third flying man right on curve on turn number 2. That would have been so wonderful, but I can easily take that at this point. Opponents kind of kept a slower hand. Now what's their choice? Ooh, that's an Idwen Efreet. Haven't seen many of those played. Idwen Efreet is amazing creature. 3 mana for a 3/6 creature that has trouble blocking, but you're playing a Red Aggro deck. Who cares about blocking? That's a 3 power creature with 6 toughness for 3 mana. That's value. And that's a creature you don't see too often, but it is a good one every single time you see it. And I get my beaters in and the Phantasmal Forces coming in. 4 mana, 4/1 flying creature with 1 blue mana upkeep cost. Now the 4 power for 4 mana with a flying body in blue, that's good, because basically the other like option at this slot would be Phantom Monster, which is 4 mana 3/3. Yeah, the 3 toughness, yeah, that doesn't survive a bolt, but could be useful against the little creatures, but 4 power is something I really want. Now My opponent's seeing that they are in a little bit of a problem here, because they can't basically block anything I'm attacking with, because only so few of their creatures fly, so attacking is quite easy. And oh, double balloon brigade. Well, speaking of creatures that can actually block, the balloon brigades are actually more annoying than you'd think, because the Phantasmal Force's 1 toughness does play out right here, because I really don't want to trade a 4-mana creature to a 1-mana creature. But I believe the flying men probably are free to attack. And my hand has just gotten quite interesting. I'm trying to do the math here, because my hand is 3 psionic blasts at this point. And now the question is, how do I sequence this? Because if I just attack with everything, they're going to jump with one of the balloon brigades. I lose the Phantasmal Forces, maybe get in 3 points, dropping them to 11. That's 3 psionic blasts, but that's 6 points of damage to me, and I only have mana to do those 1 per turn, and they are attacking as well. 5 points for the orcs and the Efreets, so this is kind of difficult. But yeah, the flying men are free to attack. I believe that's a straight up easy answer. But and no blocks for the goblins, so my opponent is looking to raise me here as well. Now, here's a good sequencing question. When do I actually want to shoot those psionic blasts? Because if they have double bolt in hand, it is probably risky, because I might die or cause a tie-in if I just go blasting them all willy-nilly. Mishra's Factory, more attackers. Now they are so low on mana that if they have an Expel in hand, that's no better than a lightning bolt at this point. So Expels is not something I'm worried about. Losing 2 creatures for Fireball, annoying, but not the end of the world. And my opponent's going all out. They are swinging, but do I want to block? I think I don't, because if I can get that Phantasmal Forces threatening them at any point, that might be enough to kind of win the game sneakily. Because the Phantasmal Forces deals as much damage as a Psionic Blast does, so it's a tough choice here, tough choice. And I believe the right answer is just let everything through and try to get to a double blast range, because that's probably enough. I am thinking about this long and hard, trying to do the math here, figuring out what's the actual correct play, because I'm in a good position and I do not want to lose it. I don't want to just throw the game away to some hasty decision. But yeah, no blocks. I want to pressure them. I want to make them use their lightning bolts. And there's my first psionic blast, dropping them down to 7. 7 is a good number for me. Yeah, keep paying that upkeep cost. I'm not gonna lose the Phantasmal Forces right here. And I believe I am safe to just swing out. If I can do the 3 points of damage, I'm good. I'm probably winning at that point. Yeah, that dishes out one of the lightning bolts from their hand. They did not shoot me, so I'm guessing they don't have another one, because then they would have just double bolted me. So, Psionic Blast. Is there anything left in their hand? And it is good. Yeah, they had nothing. 1-1, heading out to game number 3. And it is time for the final game. Both get a hand of 7 cards, and my opponent starts with some action. Ooh, goblins. Yeah, basically because all artifacts are restricted and there's a limit of 8 maximum per deck, that might not see any action, but hey, it's another 1 mana 1/1. So it is a good choice in that sense, nonetheless. A flying man again for me, and we are off to the races. Yeah, because I'm thinking like the odds of there being useful artifacts here, well, they would have been a Sol Ring, but I doubt they would have taken the chance with that. The chance of there being good artifacts for that goblin is not going to be too high, so I think it's kind of safe to just treat it as a 1/1 that doesn't actually do anything. And I am going to be just slapping out more and more creatures in, and I think I'm going to be defensive here. The Sphere Falcons and Flying Men can trade, because I think I just need to kind of slow things down. My hand is stacked with small creatures. I have a second pair of both of those, so I'm kind of in a safe spot in that sense. My strip mine and my opponent's getting strip mine. What are we going to be blowing up? Okay, mana-wise, I think my opponent's good at this point, and they are swinging in. And because I know my hand is stacked, so I think it's safe to trade at this point. Kind of take them off a little of their clock, slow them down a bit, because I think 4 mana sources for them, I kind of think I'm safe to just rebuild a bit. And a third land for me, and yeah, there's the Flying Men, and there's the second Sphere Falcon. I'm all built up back again. My opponent has nothing at the moment, but how is the strip mining gonna be in this game? What is valuable? Now, is there gonna be something? I am afraid of an X-Spell, but yeah, they're going after my strip mine. What do they want to protect? Okay, yeah, they have a Maze of Ith. That's a good reason to blow up my strip, yeah, because the Maze of Ith actually does something useful here. And the Ironclaw Orcs coming in, they are ahead in the race for now, but let's see if I can do something here that's useful. Yeah, attacking is probably safe. Yeah, and one of the creatures is gonna get returned. And here my opponent and I are kind of talking which creature is actually going to be pulled back, because with the Vigilance it actually doesn't matter which is it going to be. And yeah, Sphere Falcons is the one. And there is a Chaos Orb, so yeah, I have a solution for that maze. Now, I could blow up the Orc as well, kind of try to race better, but that would just mean I'm taking 1 damage per turn, so that's not really wise, and they have enough mana to do basically everything. So hitting lands is not likely useful. They haven't used their Sol Ring at this point, so I don't think there's going to be too much good stuff. Alright, let's activate the Chaos Orb, and let's see, do they have a Shatter in hand, or do I get to flip it? My opponent's already gonna jumping the gun and thinking the mace is gonna be the target, yeah, and boom, that went down clean. Okay, no bounces this time. The orb did its job right. And the little creatures are swinging in, dropping my opponent down to 17. We are at equal footing, but they are 1 turn ahead in this race. And there's a Dance of Many. I'm gonna get myself a copy of that Orc. That's the strongest creature on the board, so I'm good with that. Now, here's a little problem I came up with the thought with the Dance of Many, because I often have 1/1 creatures. So copying a Sphere Falcon, yeah, it is something, but I don't think that's really a good use of my mana. So there is a chance that the Dance of Many may be stuck in my hand without anything useful to copy, but well, here I get the 2-power creature from my opponent, so that's good enough. That's good enough for now, but I don't think I'm interested in blocking that Ironclaw Orcs. We're just gonna probably go with the blind race at this point. And there is a Hurchacal. Hurchacal is nothing actually in this game, except Ghost Ship. Ghost Ship can actually regenerate, and her Jackal can prevent that. But that's the only thing. Nothing else here can regenerate, so that's gonna be just a 1 mana 1/1. Which, in many cases, is just good enough. Good enough for red deck, so I'm swinging in with everything, slapping them for 4. If the game goes on like this, I'm good. I'm probably maybe getting ahead in the race. Let's say 3 more hits and then just 1 extra point of damage. If I can get that in, that would be game. And my opponent's got a 5-turn clock. Most likely they have a bolt in hand at this point already. They've seen so many cards and I haven't had any really good threats to kind of get out of the way, so they might be holding on to a bolt or a chain lightning. Dropping down to 12, and there's another balloon brigade. The brigade I don't really worry so much because I do have the unsummon to get it out of the way, just so I can get in more damage. I don't want to be doing any trading at this point. The situation is so good for me to just swing in with everything, dropping them down 1 hit at a time. And if they do have to play that balloon brigade again, I don't really mind. That's just fine by me. But now the question is, I have a second Dance of Many in hand. Do I want to lock my mana? Because those upkeep costs would basically mean I can't do anything else. And yes, I want another orc for me. Because now my clock is pretty fast. That's 6 points of damage coming their way every turn. This might get a reaction from my opponent. Yeah, Lightning Bolt, one of the token creatures. Not a big surprise there. But what do we get then? I am at 12 life, practically at 9. Because yeah, I don't think I'm not gonna be blocking. This is absolutely just blind race. And let's see just which one of us gets to do the damage first. Chain Lightning's the second orc copy. And I'm down to 2 points per turn. That's not that good. And there is another Balloon Brigade. Yeah, this is slipping from me a little bit. Now, yeah, blocking those little creatures wouldn't have really changed anything. They are getting more and more stuff every turn. But so am I. There's another Falcon for me. That's 7 life. That's 3 swings at this point. And they're hitting me for 4. That's 3 swings as well. Oh no, there's a Ball Lightning. Is this a game over right there? And my opponent is really worried because I had a double blue open, but it's only a boomerang. Yeah, the Ball Lightning goes back in hand. I am down to 5, and knowing that Ball Lightning is going to be coming in next turn again, I'm empty-handed. Now the top decks better be something good. Psionic Blast would have been amazing, but let's see, can I survive this? Here's the problem when you don't play any counter magic. Yeah, my opponent is expecting a counter spell, but I just don't have any. So the Ball Lightning's probably coming back. Now my opponent is doing the thing. They told me about this. Like later on, they have a few plans, a few directions they can go with this. They could sequence the situation. They could go with the Ball Lightning. I think they have probably some other damage spell there, but what is the correct way to do this? Because if they play an X spell right now, they can get rid of my Falcons, but that wouldn't kill me. If they hit me in the head with it, I'm absolutely going to block. Do they want to attack first, or do they? And if they do not cast the Ball Lightning right now, I know there's something coming later on, because why wouldn't they want to attack with the Ball Lightning? They already showed me. This is a tight situation. There's one card in my hand. Is that a counter spell? They're going for the Ball Lightning, swing with everything, and I top deck a second boomerang. I get to live another turn. Now, my top deck better be dang good. I need to deal 1 extra damage. Unstable Mutation, Sunken City, those are all good. Psionic Blast would make this game a tie. That would get us into a next game as well. What's my top deck? Is it good? What can I do? Can I block? I'm going to be swinging out with everything. And it was a Sapphire Falcon. Yeah, that's not gonna save me. The Ball Lightning has trample, and there's enough attackers even if there was just another hasty 1-1. All the creatures are coming in. I got nothing left. Yeah, this is game 2-1 for the red deck. Now this was a good match. The last round was so close and my opponent dropped down to the last life point. I just couldn't find that unstable mutation or sunken city in time. Those boomerangs can only do so much. Well, games like these are the perfect example of having a ton of fun even though you lose. Basically, the end result didn't matter at all. We both had a blast playing the round. So, what did I learn from this round? The deck can't really play slow hands. You need to curve out immediately. Game 1 showed what happens if you try to go for a ghost ship start instead of mulliganing for smaller threats. Of course, not knowing what my opponent plays does matter a lot in these decisions. What seems also clear is that I should have put in a Pendelhaven, even though it doesn't produce any blue mana. We talked about this with my opponent and both realized that it would have slotted in so well to each of our decks. The other thing is that I need more sunken cities. I have plenty of 1-power creatures, but they just don't do enough as is. Racing with 3 1/1s is not the same as doing the same with 2/2s. And getting that toughness boost as well is paramount. The Phantasmal Forces had a really hard time trying to get past those Goblin Balloon Brigades. But with those notes added, I think it's time to close the library for today. We have 1 more game left, and let's see if we can get that 1 victory before retiring this deck completely. Join me again next time for the thrilling final round of the Color Clash tournament here in the Shivan Library.